Bing bong.
I'm Hectic Fred, and when I shoot, I hit nothing but net. Winston, it's the same thing. When Flaxy shoots, he hits nothing but net, but he doesn't hit the rim either. It's a full-on air ball.
Swish, baby. Woo!
Missed as per usual. Clippers fan, always falling short of the mark. We're three ballers from Australia, and this is nothing but net.
Oh, Maron, what are you doing? Hey, like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything you gotta do, man. It goes a long way, trust me. You like my shirt? Get straight into the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, history is being made today. We got Winston here to the left of me. We got Flaxy
also to the left of you.
Sort of to the left of me.
Far left.
And we got me, Hectic Fred, man. And we're Australians, man. Not many Aussies play ball. But you know what? It's got to be the fastest growing sport in the country, I reckon. And the longer time goes, the more people I know start watching basketball, start playing basketball. Dude, there are 5 comps at every arena now. Like, it's so much fun, seeing how much basketball has grown. And
it's such an easy sport to pick up as well. Like, it's pretty simple to watch. Put the ball in the basket. Obviously, it's a bit more technical if you go deep. But, like, on the surface, pretty simple. And it's so easy to play as well.
But hard to master, man.
Yeah, easy to play, but hard to master. Because, like, there's basketball courts everywhere, right? Like, you can go to Kmart, buy a ball, and then go shoot some hoops. So
exactly,
it's fast growing.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of people play it when they get older as well. And that's what I was exposed to a young age, I guess. Like, my uncles all played, my mum played, aunties all played. Like, and then, what do you know? I turned 16, then I start playing. Yeah. And I'm a rugby guy through and through, but basketball's always been number 2. And it's an amazing sport to play, amazing sport to watch. And us as Aussies don't really see much NBA content from guys down under. So... we're gonna take the onus and try something that not many people are doing, and that's trying to enter the NBA market, the basketball market.
Put the Australian
from Australia, bruh.
Yeah,
put the Australian NBA basketball podcasts on the map.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to number 1. We're going to be the number 1 basketball podcast
number
in the
1
country.
For sure, bro.
In Australia, not in the world.
Mate.
No, for the world, mate. Shoot for the stars, bro.
Mate,
shoot for the stars.
Mate, you know Stephen
You might miss if you shoot for the stars. Like, it's not
hey,
go
man, you miss...
That's a weird arc.
Know what Michael Jordan said? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take,
That's
bro.
right. Michael Scott said that as well.
Yeah. It's just a Michael thing, bro. It's just a Michael thing, bro.
You have Stephen A, we have Hectic F, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Stay off the damn coke, bro. But so this is something that we've been wanting to do. We've been talking about it for a while, so we started this podcast called Nothing But Net, and this is episode 1. And
the pilot episode.
I hope that I can watch this 500 episodes down the track. I'm like, this is the start of something great.
Yes, the start of something new.
The one thing that we do have is unbelievable consistency, and we have our own shows that we've been consistent with in other sports, and now it's time to add basketball to the list. And this is something that I think has a lot of potential. Like what Lonzo Ball once had. And I'm wearing his jersey right here. I'm actually not a Bulls fan. I'm a massive Lakers fan. If I had a second team, it'd probably be the Mavs, because they just always have... I'm a man that appreciates European talent. I'm not European myself, but, man, I got a good eye for it, and I definitely love watching a little bit of finesse.
He likes a white man's basketball.
I like a white man's European finesse, skillful basketball.
Can we talk about... Like, you're wearing a Bulls jersey as a Lakers fan. Now, me personally... I could never wear another team's jersey. Can you explain? Because you said in NRL, you'd wear another team. You wouldn't, but in NBA, because it's players and stuff.
Mate, this guy threatened to leave a podcast over it.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, man, it was a joke, by the way. This bloke's taking it serious, all right? But at the end of the day, listen, man, I think what drew me and many others to Basketball was a certain player. And this man right here, as a massive Lakers fan that watched years of losing, as soon as I started watching 2010, 2011, Lakers are good. Then we went on to an absolutely terrible run. And the beacon of hope was Lonzo Ball. Yeah. So when we traded him away and he did well elsewhere and then moved to the Bulls, and I'm like, man, him and Caruso moved to the Bulls. I got to support my boys, bro.
Yeah, fair.
So and the way I see it is like with NRL, I'm not gonna wear another team's jersey because there's no one on the back.
Yeah,
you're wearing the team, whereas here I'm wearing a player.
Yeah,
so I got jerseys from all different teams.
Like you don't see it as wearing a Bulls jersey. You see it as wearing a Ball jersey.
Yeah,
you're wearing the player. I remember the big risk with player names on jerseys in the NBA is the player leaves. Yeah, and it's like say like I've got a Nick, so For Christmas one year, I got a Kristaps Porzingis jersey, City Edition, sickest Knicks jersey ever. Literally a month later, traded.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
And it's on bargain bin.
Yeah, and it's
like
like,
for sale.
How can I wear that jersey now? It's got Porzingis on the back.
Would you say there's more people that follow players than teams
For sure.
in the NBA?
Yeah, 100%.
For sure, bro. Like, especially the chicks, bro. All right, listen, man. When I was in high school, bro, the amount of Rondo and the Rondo jerseys and Carmelo Anthony jerseys, and I'm like, I'd go to people with like, I just wanted to see if they knew. I'd go to the people wearing Knicks Anthony jerseys. I'm like, what's his first name? Darren. So definitely, like basketball jerseys are fire. I'm gonna be honest, they are freaking hectic. Like the Knicks jerseys are some of my favorites. Yeah,
this is one of my favorite Miami jerseys.
I know.
They come out with
That's why I also like wearing other teams' jerseys because they have some mad jersey. Like I'm not gonna lie, I have like the purple Utah Jazz jersey. I'm not even the biggest Donovan Mitchell fan, but I couldn't get one with Joe Ingles on the back. All right, and my name on League of Legends was literally Joey fucking Ingles for like 5 years, bro. But couldn't get a Jazz jersey, the purple mountain one. But I got one with Donovan Mitchell. I got a couple Mavs jerseys, you know what I mean? I like the jerseys are so cool, bro.
The cool thing as well with NBA jerseys is you can buy like jerseys from like the 70s and 80s as well. So like I've got a Patrick Ewing jersey. I wasn't even alive when he was playing, but that's the difference between like especially rugby league is you can't really get like you can buy old retro jerseys, but not the player like I've got a Patrick Ewing jersey, one of the best Knicks ever, and you can support that way as well. It's sick.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, and the thing is like we wore that jersey for a comp, like that Miami Heat jersey. Like we wore the blue one, but like you can, there are especially here in Australia, they make custom jersey at the wazoo for you, and it's just like wearing the real thing. So I always keep my custom ones. Like I got one that says Big Chungus on the back. All right, because for 2 years I was Big Chungus, and like. It means we change up our jersey like every year or two. You know what I mean? Something new. There's so many jerseys to pick from. And and I just absolutely, like I got the greenish Charlotte Hornets jersey because we were Charlotte Zib instead of Charlotte's Web. But like Charlotte, But it was just, we always came up with good name and jersey combinations. Yeah. But NBA is so good at marketing their players, bro. Like 100%. They put them on a pedestal. And like Kobe Bryant was the guy that hooked me straight away. There was something about him. It's just the way he played basketball was just
the aura
immediately grabbed me.
Yeah, and that's the different thing between like especially like other American sports. I would say baseball is similar, but NFL, right? They wear helmets. You can't really see the player. They might have a personality, but there's no real personality. Australia, NRL, you don't have a player's name. You just have the jersey, so you're not really connected. You're more connected to a team. Whereas you see the face, you have the personality. LeBron James, you know what he looks like. You know who he is. You spot him. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal, the biggest bloke in the world. Like, you can see him from a mile away. You know who he is.
Every NBA player is like that. But like LeBron James, his head. You can spot him in the Diddy parties, But, that guy's got irrefutable evidence of being involved in that shit when he says there's no party like a Diddy party.
Bro went so long without any controversy in his career. Boom.
He was like Delonte West and his mum, 10 years of nothing, and then Diddy party. And Diddy party is more damning evidence than like anything else in the past. So... this might affect LeBron's legacy.
LeBron's legacy gets affected before GTA 6, bro. We're screwed.
Yeah, so it's funny how me and Flaxy got close. Like, I've always played NBA fantasy the last 4 or 5 years. Just something about NBA fantasy, I love it. Even though we just play ESPN points leagues, like no category leagues, anything like that.
When we say the bare basic, we mean the bare basic.
Yeah, but it's easy for people to get in. So we played a 12-team league last year. It was an absolute piss take. I ended up winning because I'm just a basketball mastermind. But it was just non-stop shit talk for 12 weeks, like for however many weeks it was. And we just became close, and here we are. And we got Winston in the fantasy comp this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hooked already, bro.
Yeah, and we just did our draft, was it last night? And Winston was pick 1, I was pick 3.
Yeah.
I got stuck with pick 11.
Bro, when I'm telling you, like, that was so... Like, I had 2 assessments due last night, so I spent all of yesterday doing assessments and then rolled into the draft. I'm telling you, I was more stressed in the draft than I was doing my assessments.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It was like a 2-hour period where I'm just like, oh my God, like
Man,
Like, I was looking through
$600 on the
lists
line.
and players, and I'm like, where's this player?
It's the earliest we've ever done our draft in this fantasy league, and I tell you, like, it's the most stressful thing. Like, you think assessments and that are stressful, man. You get there and you're like, you got a minute on the clock, and you're like, do I go with this player? Like,
dude, I had one where my 8th pick was or 7th, or maybe it was 6th pick or 7th pick. Like, I literally couldn't pick, and then I tried to lock in someone, and then it auto-picked Daniel Gaffin. I'm like, I didn't want a guy that was coming off the bench, to be honest, but I guess he's mine.
I was watching your stream while I was in my picks, and you were picking like 2 ahead of me.
Yeah.
And like you're listening to Fred just losing his mind. Am I picking this guy? And then you hear the clock just tick down. And he goes, "Wait up, my pick's gone!" And it's like, ding.
Well,
and then when someone else gets his pick, he's like, "You fucker, you stole my pick."
He'd be there like name dropping people. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad because I've got that guy queued. I'm picking one ahead of Fred. I'm like, oh no.
Trey Murphy, bro, that was the one. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones went really late in our draft, but a lot of projections had them much higher.
Aiton as well. Aiton went really
there was
late.
Aiden went really late. Oh my god, Evan Mobley went like 3 rounds too late.
There were so many
So
times
I got a lot of late guys.
like Aiden where the player was like so late in the draft. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll leave it for another round. Hopefully I get him in the next one. And then Fred's like, takes him.
I was
Yeah,
like,
damn it.
bro, that guy had in the 10th round, the 99 pick DeAndre Aiden. Guy was at one point averaging like 40 fantasy points a game. You know what I mean? So, but. The reason I brought up fantasy is we're probably going to bring it up in this show many times this year just because it is a heated rivalry. Our leagues do have a million trades, and there are definitely going to be trades that we want to talk to you guys about and see if it was
we might even negotiate some trades on the podcast.
Yeah. Like this is probably going to be like the Moneyball scene where he's just,
Flax has never seen Moneyball.
Yeah, we went through this last
dude, that is one of the best movies
It's like you
ever.
love it so much.
Dude, I don't even watch baseball, bro. It's still one of my favorite
literally.
movies ever.
So for reference, guys, this isn't just like your normal league. This isn't a league you get 1 or 2 trades every few weeks. There has been times where I've had my whole roster, multiple people have had their whole roster, and at the end of the season, I think I've had one person left on that roster from the original draft.
Every single player was traded last year.
Every time, Jokic, Luka, Halliburton, Giannis, every single player was picked and changed. It took a bit, but it did happen.
And then who ended up with Jokic, Sabonis, and Luka on one team somehow? Me. And you know what? That's the problem with I listen, man. It ended up being an absolute fleece. Who I gave up for, I think it was even. As a person who got 7 trades vetoed because the team was the rest of the players were petty. All right, they didn't veto this one, so they must have thought it was fair. And then in the end, they're complaining about it in the group chat for this fantasy season. All right, and they're saying that's how it won. Well, if it was that bad, they would have vetoed it. Yeah. Nonetheless, I know who I picked with my first 3 picks. Who did you guys pick? We got a 12-team league, by the way, that does alter who goes in the first 3 rounds. Do you guys remember who you picked with your top 3?
I remember my top 3.
I had the number 1 pick, so obviously I took Jokic. Jokic, how do we want to pronounce his name? I took him at number 1. I will say you were talking up Victor Wembanyama a lot. Sorry if I butchered that as well.
No, you got it.
one.
I was considering taking him at number 1, genuinely.
So like the risky number 1 is Victor for sure. Yeah. Like the easy pick was Jokic just because Victor has that whole they might shut him down back into the season.
Yeah. I thought he would have gone 4th. I thought you were going to take him, but I had him projected around 4th, 5th.
Well, I don't like so I don't want to pick a guy I don't like. Well, I don't like him more than the 3 that were ahead of him.
The fact that because Giannis in our league dropped to 6th, and that blew my mind. I thought Giannis would have at least been picked in front of Wembanyama. So.
Embiid went high in our draft, and a lot of people his average draft position was I think 5th. So, but I didn't want to touch Embiid with a 10-foot pole because I think he's not going to be doing as much. No. That's why a lot of you guys, we'll talk about it before, he's a potential MVP candidate. I don't believe so this year just because he's sharing the ball with 2 guys that are going to want the ball, you know? And I think their record will be good, but his stats will take a hit, I think.
I disagree. Obviously Paul George is a big get for the 76ers, but I think it gives him less physical to do because they're going to be more worried about Paul George, where you had other players, you got Maxey, Paul George on that team. Now you don't, instead of Tobias Harris being there, you got Paul George who's more of a threat, you're more worried about Paul George. You're getting less physical with Embiid, and then he's getting physical when he needs to. And I feel like it's just going to be easier for him to score points because there's less attention on him and more attention on other players on the team.
Yeah, so his efficiency will probably go up,
Yeah.
but his actual amount of times he's got the ball, probably will go, his amount of touches, probably go down because he's going to want to keep Paul George happy. Paul George wants touches.
Yeah.
Like, that's why James Harden took the third fiddle. The guy that wants the ball in his hands the most was a third fiddle on this team and third lowest in usage because Paul George wants touches.
Yeah.
And he's paying money. He's getting paid big money because he's going to get touches. And I think like Tyrese Maxey will probably end up being the third option.
Yeah.
Because he's the young kid. These two are the veteran, older guys. Tyrese is probably going to be the one that steps back. Yeah. But who else did you pick with your top two?
So
the rest of the top three.
So because I was at the first pick, my next two were just back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
And I took Lillard and I got my boy Scotty Barnes. So I'm very happy to get him so late. I had him like projected to go like way higher than he did. So I was happy that he fell to me. And yeah, that was my three first picks.
Yeah, Scotty Abania or whatever it was. But on my first three picks, I had the third pick. I took Victor because I think a lot of people had him projected number one because I had him last year for a few months before I traded him for Jokic and Sabonis among other players. But his per game averages in his best stretch were like nothing short of unbelievable. And now he's got Chris Paul, an actual point guard, and no more Jeremy Sohan at point guard experiment, hopefully, because they got Stephon Castle as well. And I just think they're going to be playing through Wemby a lot more because they've given Wemby two unselfish players. And I think Chris Paul is the perfect sort of point guard for a Greg Popovich team. And I think he's just going to make things like Greg is going to be able to get the best out of this team. And I think they're a sleeper to like make the play-in. And if they're in play-in contention, I don't think Victor's going to get shut down this year. So I picked him with number one. My number two pick was obviously later towards the second round, but it was Alperen Sengun, Baby Jokic. I went really center heavy at the start because I think there are a lot of good centers in the NBA right now, and I picked Alperen Sengun. That he's Baby Jokic. He fills up the stat sheet, bona fide number one player on his team, and my next pick was LaMelo Ball, and I said to myself, I'm never picking LaMelo Ball ever again.
You should have seen this guy last year, bro. Like, LaMelo Ball, once he got injured, this guy was all over the place. He was seeing red, bro.
2 years in a row, and then I drafted him. I said, if he gets injured, this is the last time I'm drafting him last year. All right? But I took him in the second. I didn't draft him, but I traded for him because somehow he got traded for a bag of chips. So then I'm like, well, the guy gave up a bag of chips. I could probably get him for like something similar, I can't remember who I traded, but I was happy with it at the time. And then LaMelo started balling out because he had a slow start last year. But LaMelo, when I saw him in the third round, I'm like, I really wanted to get Trae Young around that point, but he got picked. But LaMelo was still available. And I'm like, okay, I can't not go for LaMelo here because if he does play 65 games, then that's a potential league winner right there. Because he has projected, he has like second round and maybe even first round per game potential, but it's just the injuries. And he's the bone of, like, he's always been the number one player on his team, but like they have just let go of everybody. It's just LaMelo and then Mark Williams, bro. So it's gonna all go through him. So I'm thinking, man, like he's just gonna get a crazy amount of points per game, assists per game, rebounds. I just think it's a good pick. I'm willing to go for it in the third round. And look, there are so many, and I was very mindful of this when drafting my team. This league is a trader's dream. So if I get fed up, there are going to be many buyers for LaMelo Ball, and many trade offers are going to come my way if I want to get rid of him.
Absolutely.
So it's worth the risk. And if I don't want to trade him, I keep him.
I did say to Winston, I was like, take a screenshot of your team at the beginning of the season.
It will not
be the same. And I think what we'll do is I'll put it up now, what mine is. I'll get Winston to put up his. I'll get Fred to put up his. These are the teams we have at the beginning of our fantasy league. What
Hit
I mean,
pause.
It's not going to
Pause.
come back at the end of the
Come
season.
back at the end of the season.
None of these players will be
We're
there.
going to have a review and be like, what went wrong? Because, I mean, nothing will go wrong for me. I'm going to win and it's going to be fine. But what went wrong for other teams? And, we'll go through.
It's going to be a lot of funny, bro. Our fantasy comp is so much fun that it's literally worth having a segment on the podcast every week because there will be legitimate news about our fantasy comp.
Mate,
there's going to be
we'll
Woj
have like 50 trades, Woj bomb.
Like, bro,
Woj bombs.
shout out to Woj.
Let's
All
talk about
right,
that.
what a career, by the way. It's not going to be the same without him, man.
Nah. He retired before LeBron, man.
I know.
What about his final bomb being his own retirement?
Oh, no, that is the Woj bomb,
Poetic, bro. Poetic.
Man, that's...
It's actually
Shams,
sad.
bro. Shams is it's just him alone on that.
His stocks just went up, bro.
Yeah, man. Like that's just him now, bro. We need with the Fabrizio Romano thing, with like all of the kids picking up, beating him to signings in football. We need the next Woj to come up. It's got to be a young kid, bro.
I found it.
Kenny for real, bro. Get Kenny for real in the media team, bro. Give him insider info. Trust me.
I found it funny. There was this post. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's this guy. It was a satire page, but it's called Andrew ESPN. And it looks like a proper. He bought like the tick and everything, and his first thing was like Ben Simmons has been traded to another team, and like everyone thought it was real because he had the tick. It was ESPN and everything. It was funny. It was the first thing after Woj.
Bro,
You're gonna laugh, bro.
I looked up. I was like, did Ben Simmons get traded? I was like,
Bro,
what?
the amount of times I fell for NBA Centel.
Oh,
bro, that is the fun. I don't have Twitter for anything but NBA Centel because that page is so funny, bro.
I follow an account on Instagram called Real NBA Quotes, and it's just like the most just like satire quotes, and I always fall for them, even though like I follow this page knowing it's fake.
Sometimes
and
you
it's
just
just the
want
most
it to be real.
outlandish.
No, but
But
sometimes
they just make up-
there are some real ones out there that you would think are fake.
But they just post like outlandish quotes that like an NBA player would just never say it, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, it's a fake quote.
Bro, Gilbert Arenas is that guy now that's just outlandish quote after outlandish quote after outlandish quote. But yeah, that's listen, man, the off season, like this NBA off season was pretty decent, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of moves happened, and I think the power curve for a lot of teams has changed. I just want to know, who do you guys have winning the West, winning the East, and who's your MVP?
Oh,
Kick us off, Flax.
look,
Do not say the Clippers.
Let's start with
You're
West.
donezo, bro.
let's start with the West. Look, as much as I do love the Clippers, you know, we have gotten, I would say, worse. You know, we have picked up a few, like Kevin Porter Jr., Mo Bamba. We've picked up a few good players, but...
Did you get Miles Bridges too?
No, I don't think we did. I think he stayed with Charlotte.
Yeah, he's still at Charlotte.
Oh, no, I thought
There
you
was a
got...
rumor around it, but I think he stayed.
I've got to look this up. Sorry, go. Continue.
You really can't go past the Dallas Mavericks. Like, the Dallas Mavericks, they've just picked up a Klay Thompson. Yes, he had a pretty poor year last year, but he's now in a team with Kyrie Irving, a team with Luka Doncic. Let's just look at those three for a second. Luka's going to get double teamed. He's got double teamed pretty much his whole career. And then you've got Kyrie Irving. Now you've got one of the best three-point spot-up shooters in the league. Now, again, he didn't have a good year last year.
0-10.
0-10.
Man, that guy became a meme, bro.
How do you go from the third quarter Clay to 0-10 Clay?
Don't let this distract you from the fact that Clay went 0-10 in the playoffs. That was every comment section. You just be reading
Every
that.
comment
It's the
section.
most unrelated thing ever.
Like I was seeing them on like political posts.
Yeah, it's like Donald Trump's been shot, and the top comment's like Klay Thompson went 0-10.
know what
Yeah,
reminds
he
Okay.
still did better than Klay Thompson, bro.
It reminds me of like, how is this affecting the Talk to a podcast?
Oh, that one's been funny as, bro.
Bro, that's the real reason we started
Dude,
this podcast. We're
she
competing with
inspired us,
Talk To
bro. I'm
Her.
just gonna say that's one of the best names for a podcast I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Talk to a bro.
Good
That
name.
is a good name.
Gotta respect
Have you
it.
seen like the memes where it's like just
All the boys watching, like,
Yeah.
I've seen one where like they're all like writing notes and shit, and then they all start laughing. You know
I
what I
said
mean?
they're all in like suits, like all applauding the podcast.
was like-
Fuck, men are funny, bro.
It's like that Minions thing where they went to like the movies and watching Minions. It's the same
Yeah.
thing where it's like, talk to her.
Everyone's just going in suits,
yeah.
bro.
or it's when like they get the like J. Cole song as like Talk to Her, and it's like every snippet where someone says talk to her, and it goes talk to her, and then it goes to the Talk to Her podcast.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. But back on the Klay Thompson, I think he's gonna have a better year shooting this year. He's gonna be so much more open, and I feel like it's just a well-rounded team that they have ready for this year.
Yeah,
And
life's gonna be easier for Clay on the Mavs because It's very hard to defend.
Luka has a better, like another good teammate. Like who knew this was going to happen?
It's the perfect teammate for him, bro. Someone that's going to consistently hit threes. I think when he's wide open.
Two people on Clay, one on Kyrie. Obviously, the center on the center. Like Clay's going to be wide open.
And then the hidden, the hidden guy is always going to be PJ Washington, who is cracked, bro.
Absolutely,
he's cracked, and he's a guy that wants to be at Dallas. There are not many people in the world, let alone in America, that want to be in Texas. And he grew up there. He grew up a Mavs fan. The guy wants to be there. And I think Dallas has never really had that, bro. So I think they built a really good roster. But I just feel like, Luka and I just feel like Luka, Clay, like they're just a little bit too injury prone. And then there's Kyrie, which is a whole different level of potential to miss half the season, And I think
he's your Matt Burden.
Yeah,
the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
yeah.
Kyrie and Birdo, flat earthers.
Yeah, so I do think they're going to be a mad team in the playoff spot, but I have OKC getting the 1 seed. I still
think they're too young.
Their minutes, like the minutes, especially in the bad part of the season where Josh Giddey, when he was on the floor, he was just at many times a problem for them. And replacing him with Alex Caruso is going to make them better because the fit with Josh Giddey was just not there. They needed someone that could consistently hit a jump shot and play defense, and now they got that. It's going to be much harder to score on them now. And that's one weakness that I think they feel. Not that Josh Giddey is a weakness. I think Josh Giddey is a really good player. Us being Aussies, we want him to do well. Had a fucking year from hell last year. But I think Chicago... Even though there are two guys there that need the ball in hand in Zach LaVine and Kobe White, I think he'll do a good job there as well. They're going to leak a lot of points, but in terms of offense, they're going to look good. But they needed to address, and they need to get a wing player or a guard that can play defense, shoot a 3 ball, and then they needed a backup center, potential starting center, and that's what they got in Isaiah Hartenstein. They paid probably double what he's worth in order to get so. In order to get him, insane. I don't think anybody tipped this. That's 2016, new TV deal money.
What?
That's a lot of money for Isaiah Hartenstein.
Not Randall. Robinson got injured, and all of a sudden, Hartenstein entered the map.
He came to the Knicks as a backup center, and then ended up getting the starting spot when Robinson came back. And Robinson was one of our more key players at the time, and he just exploded out of nowhere.
But no, he's done this multiple times before, bro. At the Cavs, this guy was filling up the stat sheet. The guy was averaging 5 assists a game in 4 or 5 assists a game in 15, 20 minutes on the Cavs. Everywhere he went, he actually had a stint like this. Maybe except for Clippers. But on the Knicks, he was just waiting. He was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And he got his opportunity. He made the most out of it. Yeah. And this is what contract years do this to players, bro. Contract years do this to players. I swear, man.
Lots of fire
Nerlens Noel, contract year Nerlens Noel, I'll never forget. Andre Drummond was trying to get paid this offseason, bro. The way he was playing when he got started minutes, crazy. That's what contract years do, and he got a mighty payday. Yeah. All power to him. I think he's a little bit too much, but the thing with OKC is he was there for the taking. Sometimes you got to pay overs, and you just bite the bullet because you need him. They definitely needed a player like Isaiah Hartenstein, and I think that's going to be the 1 seed. I think they're pretty durable health wise. They're going to grow another year. SGA another off season. Jalen Williams another off season. Holmgren another off season. They're probably going to try him at the 4.
Jalen Williams. Do you think he performs as well as he did at the back end of last year?
He doesn't his efficiency last year at times was just obscene, and I just think he's going to be. I think if his efficiency drops, his scoring numbers will still go up because I just think. He's just going to become a better scorer. When he gets a touch, he's going to look to be more aggressive. I think he's going to improve his game at all levels. And I just think the OKC team overall is going to improve their game at all levels. And then they got Isaiah Joe. And they kept Isaiah Joe. And he is the unsung hero of this team. Because when the amount of times they've needed a bucket and Isaiah Joe is there, he'd be the perfect player for that Mavs team.
That is such whitest name. You think he's just grabbed Isaiah Joe off the street,
Right.
He's
this guy, man. He's a laser beam, bro. One of the best shooters in the league. They're a really good team, bro. I don't think they have many weaknesses. But
I think it's just
in the regular season, I think the youth. I don't think is going to impact the regular season too much. playoff time, that's where the youth shines. But they've got two guys that have been around the league a lot now, played a lot of games. I think that's going to help them a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think OKC are probably the 1 seed. Pretty much. I feel like it's just such a well-balanced roster. It is a young roster, but I just feel like just the balance and like they were pretty good last season as well. And then just it's undoubtedly they've gone up a level in terms of on paper this season. So I think they'll be the 1 seed. Although I do think the team coming out into the finals, I think Mavs get into the finals. Maybe Timberwolves is a bit of a smoky.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mavs, with Klay Thompson being added and just Luka doing Luka things, I feel like they get to the finals.
Depends who the Timberwolves verse. I think if they verse the Nuggets again, they'd probably lose.
Yeah, I agree.
But Rob Dillingham is such a good pick for them, man.
Yeah.
And now if Mike gets injured or something, because he is getting up there with age, you can give Rob at least some really good finals experience or playoff experience, and I think I'm really high on him. He's probably the guy I'm the highest on in this draft.
Obviously, we've gone then like OKC and Dallas. What about Jokic and the Nuggets? Like,
yeah, they know how to get wins.
They got Russell Westbrook there now, so that's a big addition off the bench. Or you said he might be starting. So
I think it just depends on who they verse. But I think off the bench, nonetheless, it'll be really good. I think when Jokic gets rest, he can be that guy to take a big load on. Pause, but he's no stranger to getting a lot of ball in his hand. Pause, but he's just I think he'd probably be better off the bench. But I think him and Jokic would be a really, really good partnership, similar to like Aaron Gordon is like a rim runner, and he gives you really good defense. Even as a Lakers fan, watching him, I just knew the fit was never going to be right because you have to surround LeBron James as shooters. LeBron James and a slasher like him with no real jump shot does not work. And his confidence went down because of the lack of spacing. But there's one thing he did do, willingly pass the ball, willingly defend. And I think defensively he's going to add a lot to this team. I think like they're going to really need a lot out of Christian Brown as well. But at the end of the day, I just think they're like a 3 or a 4 seed rather than a 1st seed. And Jamal Murray, if he gets injured now, he's here at the moment as well.
Yeah, apparently he was at the
Roosters game, bro.
He was, yeah.
With Nwanga Nitawase.
So random, bro.
I know, but yeah, man, I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're definitely aiming towards playoff spot.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they always want home court advantage because statistically speaking in American sport, I think even potentially like world sport, Denver is the
worst place to play
as an opposing because they're so high in the sky. They're not used above sea level. They're not used to playing in that altitude. But Denver are
3,480 feet or some shit.
Yeah, like crazy amount above sea level.
It's on the court. That's why they have the numbers on the court.
Statistically speaking, they have the
best home ground advantage.
Not just Denver Nuggets, Denver's teams in general.
Yeah, true.
Because they're a lot fitter because they're used to the high altitude, whereas other teams are like I don't know if you've ever played in high altitude. I haven't, but hearing like Bones Highland and stuff talking about it, it's like you have asthma, bro.
Yeah. Harder to breathe.
All right. What about the East spot? We got a Knicks fan here.
Hey.
We have a Lakers fan here. Number 1 Celtics hater, but even I'm gonna start off with this one. I think it's gonna be Celtics all over again. I just think they're just a super team. As much as Celtics fans do not want to admit it, they are a super team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their payroll is absolutely insane. But they are a super team, man. They have some good players off the bench, but that starting 5, if healthy, is pretty much unbeatable.
Yeah, I feel like Celtics are the obvious truce out of the East. They're like reigning champs. I think they're undeniably the best team in the East. However, I think if a team can beat them,
it's the Knicks,
baby.
I think
the Knicks, that's if they stay healthy as well. I think last season the Knicks showed what they were capable of. They showed they were capable of beating the Celtics. They've now added Bridges, and they're literally building a team to stop the Celtics. It's like if the Celtics are a super team, if they're Superman, the Knicks are creating themselves to be kryptonite. And so if they can stay healthy, obviously they've got Randall, OG Anunoby, Robinson, all these injury-prone guys.
But Bridges is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Well, you got Bridges taking on like Tom, our coach, it's like he loves playing people big minutes. Bridges doesn't miss a game. It's like who's going to crack first.
But let's say if OG and Bridges do miss a game, for example, your bench wing guys and Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, they're going to do a good job like they did last
100%.
year.
And
They're
I think
all
they played
friends as well.
And they're all
We've got the power
chemistry.
of friendship.
The power of friendship, bro.
Villanova Knicks, baby.
But
What's up?
I think because of their sort of injury proneness for some of these players, they're probably like, that's what I think holds you guys back in the regular season. But playoffs, if they're fully healthy, I wouldn't want to verse them.
I honestly, I think, and maybe I'm just getting a little bit delusional. As a Knicks fan, normally you're so negative, and I underestimated them last year. I had them making scrape into the playoffs, and then they got the 4 seed. But I don't know. I've got my high hopes this season. I feel like we've been building towards this season. I feel like last year was such a giant step towards this coming season, and now that we've added Bridges, I really think that we can do something. If they, as I said, it's a huge if. They do have to stay healthy. That's the only thing stopping the Knicks.
Yeah. Who's your number 1 seed?
I'm going to go the 76ers. I think Paul George added. I feel like the East has gotten a few power-ups, this year. The West has gotten weaker. The East has gotten a bit stronger. But, yeah, I think the 76ers, you got Embiid, who we've talked about, being that player whose efficiency will probably go up, but the amount of time he has the ball will go down. Paul George, if he stays healthy, that's the big thing about Paul George is his healthiness. You got Tyrese Maxey, you got a really strong team there.
Yeah, Buddy Hield, Caleb Martin now.
Defense is there, I would say Embiid's one of the top physical centers in the league, and you got defense, you got you got Buddy Hield
top.
You got Buddy Hield who, and Paul George who can both put up a really good 3. And then Tyrese Maxey holding the ball down. They're just
They're a
gonna
mad
be,
team.
They're going to be a hard team to beat as well. Obviously, a power I would like to call them the Boston Roosters because their salary cap, bro, the amount of power they have on that team is insane. But obviously the Knicks are up there, but I think the 76ers, look, they're known for being first round exits or being, the playoff chokers, but I don't know, with Paul George on their side, they're a bit more of a powerhouse.
I'll give you some more evidence or some more sort of things to back up your claim with 76ers. If there's a team out of the 3 teams who's going to care about the regular season the most, it's probably the 76ers.
Yeah.
And that's why if they do make the 1 seed, I wouldn't be surprised. But if they do make the 1 seed, I just think they're going to get pumped in the playoffs still.
Yeah, they are a team that gives a crap about getting the minor premiers over the premiership.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Embiid's like, oh, I want 1 seed, give me MVP.
I want to say, back on the Knicks, I don't have the Knicks at the number 1 seed. I think Celtics I'll have it at number 1. But I think Knicks in the playoffs.
Yeah, that'll be a mad matchup.
Yeah.
This is the best Knicks team in
literally
40
since
years,
the
bro.
90s, bro.
Bro, 40,
maybe even since the 70s.
bro.
Yeah.
Willis Reed.
Literally.
So this is, it's a good time to be a Knicks fan.
Exciting.
Dude, I just want to go to New York so bad, man. I've been to LA, I've been to Vegas, but New York is the city that I really want to go to. Dude, my friend and teammate, shout out to Gudgish, he went to... he didn't go to the Knicks game, but he went outside the Knicks game.
Yeah.
After the Knicks played in their playoff games, and he was
that
just
would've been crazy.
the most insane scenes you ever see.
That's something I love about the Knicks, and then to put into NRL the Bulldogs is I feel like the fan bases are similar, where they're just nuts. You look what happened in Belmore after that Raiders game. Just pack the streets. That's what the
just
Knicks
happy
do.
to be in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, and I've got a funny story actually. My brother went to New York not last season, the season before, and he went to a Knicks game. And he went in his Bulldogs jersey, and the dude sitting in front of him, random Souths guy. What are the odds of that, bro?
That's crazy.
At Madison Square Garden, he's in a Bulldogs jersey, Souths jersey right
That's
there
crazy.
in New York. Nuts.
Dude, my mate went and he was starting fuck Trae Young trades. And they went along with him because they just hate Trae Young.
Yeah, we hate
And
Trae
for
Young.
sure, all of the guys that were there for that game were there 2-3 years before for Trae Young game.
Yeah.
And he's just public enemy number 1
Yeah.
there.
100%, bro.
He's the type of
He looks
person
like
that's on side, bro.
he looks like my dad's dick. Will always be a classic line that I heard from a New
The
Yorker.
lollipop, bro. The lollipop with the hair
the lollipop,
on it.
the chopped lollipop. Yeah. All right. Now I guess the next question is most valuable player. MVP and most improved player. Who you guys think is going to be?
I want to get my MVP in first, so it looks like you're copying me.
Yeah,
Because I think you said Luka. Yeah, I
that's
agree.
always been. I picked Luka to win the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think Luka as well. I think it'll be between like Embiid. Obviously, Joker's going to be up there. But yeah, I think Luka, he's due. I think he'll get it.
Yeah, like I genuinely think like Luka's been in the MVP race for so long. Like I've never really seen this. Luka Doncic has voter fatigue and he hasn't won an MVP yet.
Yeah,
because they're just sick of seeing him up there. He's always in the running for it. He's always projected to be first.
Yeah,
from bookies and but he never gets it. And I feel like he's got to win one.
He's got to.
The fact that he didn't win last year, in my opinion, was just crazy. And I just think voters are going to start getting tired of voting for him. And they're going to vote for a new kid on the block or
Jalen
SGA
Brunson.
instead of Luka because they're just sick of voting for Luka and him not winning.
Yeah, 100%.
I think for me, look, just to go against the grain, I sound like the biggest 76ers fan here. I promise I am not. But Embiid has been looking for that title as well. He's been looking more for the championship. But for me, I feel like Embiid can do it, this year. And I feel if it's not Embiid, I think SGA can really.
I was going to say, I think Shea's a smoky.
Shea's a really big smoky. They got a better
they
team
got the one
now.
seed,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. I
And
agree.
they did get 1 seed last year. So where was he in the rankings last year? He was
top 5.
top 5.
He was
So
up there.
I think
I'd
those
back
two.
that.
I think those two. So yeah, those are my 2 picks.
No, not Jalen Brunson.
Not Jet. No, sorry, brother. Sorry,
All right, most improved, boys.
Jalen Brunson.
He can't improve.
No, like,
He's
yeah, I
peaked.
think there's a few players that you can pick.
I think
There's,
Victor's probably the
Victor's
main
probably the
one.
one because he averaged like his points were a little bit low. Like
Yeah.
he could get from 22 or 21 or whatever it was to 27, 28, which is genuinely a possibility. If he goes from what did he average 21 and 11?
You want to know my Smokey most improved? Klay Thompson. He had a really bad year. Like obviously he's had really good peaked years.
Yeah.
But compared to last year, if he goes back to the numbers he was producing or even close to, compared to last year, that I would say he's eligible for most improved because he's had he would have a really good year. Like he had a really let's not lie, 0-10 in the finals. Let's not.
But
forget
I wonder
it.
if how good he's been in the past sort of goes. Well,
That's the only
Screwed.
issue.
He's still third option, and I just don't think he's going to win. Like he didn't have that bad of a year last year to win. And he's not going to average 25 a game. And I think that's what he would have to, or 23 a game in order to win it. I've got a couple. Like I do think Victor is because he averages 21 and 10. If he goes 27-13 and an extra block a game, we're probably talking about Victor. I got a Smokey.
I got another one as well. Is he a Laker?
No.
Oh. I was going to say Austin Reeves.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's going to... Like, if they got to trade D'Angelo Russell in order for that to happen, and even then, it depends who we bring in, and even then, it depends, is he going to get more touches?
Well, look, LeBron, he's not getting any younger. Like, they had him on rest minutes that he didn't really go with last year, but he's going to have to rest a bit more this year. Like, the older he gets, obviously he wants to play with his son, which, rookie of the year.
Rookie of the first 2 games of the season, and then rookie of the G League. That's what I reckon.
Not even, bro.
Yeah. But, no, I had him. He was my pick last year, potentially, to go up. I thought he was going to have a little bit of a boost because I didn't anticipate old mate was going to get, D'Angelo Russell was going to get traded, but he just didn't. I think a Smokey for most improved. I'm thinking, I think some smokies that enter the mind, I guess, if he stays healthy, Malcolm Brogdon or Jonas Valanciunas, because I think they're going to get a lot more touches this year. But my real smoky is Trey Murphy. If Brandon Ingram does get traded, I feel like Trey will take the bulk of his minutes. And, he's in a team that doesn't really have the most healthy players. So I think he's going to get games where his role increases, and I think he averaged 11 a game. I think he has a real potential to go up to potential 17, 18 a game, a couple more rebounds a game. I think he's a real smoky to win most improved player of the year.
Yeah. I'll stick with Victor. It's a safe option, but yeah, I just feel like he's bound to go up a level this year.
Yeah.
And especially because he's such a, I don't know if you call him a household name, but he's just so well known. It's one of those things where it's such an obvious choice.
Yeah.
They probably just get it.
But the obvious
It
choice
just makes
here,
sense.
there's one obvious choice, and this is actually going to be my pick, is Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
I picked him in the 7th round because I'm like, how could I not? That team has no scorers, and the ones that are scorers are extremely injury prone. And I think Cam Thomas is literally going to say, hey, bro, here's the ball. Go. Just go. Yeah. Who you get, like Kobe Bryant, it's going to be like Kobe and Smush. Like, why would Cam Thomas pass you the ball?
Yeah.
Go play defense or get the rebound. and bro, looking at ESPN's Cam Thomas projections, he's projected to average 27 a game.
That is insane.
Which is, I'm not the biggest Cam Thomas fan because he doesn't do anything but score. But Cam Thomas, man, he could literally average 25, 26 a game, which will get him most improved player, I think.
You guys were saying Victor Wembanyama, and I as much as I would kind of agree with him on the most improved. For me, he got robbed of this last year. Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
It has to be a lock. I would say that's my hot take, earliest take of the year.
Yeah.
He's Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Yeah, I was going to put DPO on the board, but I honestly think we're all going to say Victor because I think it's a no-brainer.
The fact that he didn't win it last year, because who got it last year? Was it
Rudy.
Yeah.
Which was a joke. No,
I
but it's because Rudy anchored the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah.
But when Victor was on the court, they were the number 1 or number 2 defense.
Yeah.
And when they were when he was off the court, they were the worst.
He had the biggest differential for plus minus on that team, and it was insane. As I said, I felt like it was robbed last year. I think Castle's really going to help their defense too. And didn't they get DeJounte Murray as well?
No,
they didn't.
the Pelicans did.
The Pelicans.
Yeah.
So.
What next?
Yeah,
Sixth man?
No, it's going to be tough for 6 man because we don't know a lot of people's roles. I guess DPOY, I think we can all agree it's going to be Victor.
Yeah.
Low key, Jalen Johnson for most improved player as well.
That could be
because especially if Trey gets traded, bro, it's just him.
Yeah.
No DeJounte Murray anymore. So
I do gotta ask. You know what? I could say Okongwu.
Onyeka Okongwu? Yeah.
If Capella gets traded.
But not the offensive load.
No.
But he could, really could get it.
I reckon hot takes. Hot take for the year. What is something you see,
Yeah, if I'm gonna go with a hot take, man, I got to think about it because I didn't really think about this one.
That's fair. We'll save that for next week.
Next week.
Because we got to
just cut that part out, like clapping time. But
we got that for next week because we got a month to the season.
Yeah. But so we got 6 man is gonna be tough because I don't know what anyone's role is gonna be, but I think those predictions are gonna be pretty. I reckon no outlandish ones, but I think it's a pretty the NBA right now is a little bit predictable at the moment.
Let's do early prediction now. We'll redo it, but who wins the championship?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Boston Celtics.
I'll go that.
I want to say
New York Knicks.
I don't say Celtics going back to back. Give me. Yeah, I don't know. I literally asked the question. I'm gonna go Knicks. I've just got a feeling this season. I don't know. I believe. I think we can beat Celtics, and I think we can beat anyone in the West. I don't know. A healthy Knicks.
You want to know my hot take is that there's going to be a Villanova x Knicks jersey made just for the year, one game.
Yeah, there's got to be, or just friendship
with the power of friendship. Let's go.
Like the Power Rangers, bro, but friendship.
All I can see is you got the most injury-prone team. It's in Endgame, you have Captain America, and it's going to be Mikal Bridges against all of Thanos's.
Yeah,
I can do this all day.
Hey, what hit TV show set in New York? Friends. The script's written.
The script is written. The 2024-25 script. Well, yeah,
that'll do it.
That's the pilot, guys.
Make sure go follow It's Nothing But Net on Instagram, please. We need followers.
Going to be on the description.
We're going to be putting clips up a lot.
And follow our TikToks as well, I guess.
Yeah, follow our TikToks. I guess we'll put them all on the screen, bro. Mine's Hectic Fred, his Winston Neville. That's our Flaxy right there. And yeah, and
What it do?
it's not gonna be easy to take over the sort of NBA market in
But
Australia.
we're gonna have a crack.
But you know what? We're gonna have a damn good crack.
There's
And
a gap there. And we
What,
feel
what,
like-
did, what did Michael Jordan say?
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
I thought Michael Scott said that. See you next week.
Are you a different animal and the same beast? What the fuck do you mean, Kobe Bryant?
Exactly.
Bing
Oh,
bong.
man.